So hair loss is an unfortunate side effect of getting old for most men, right? It's just something that affects a lot of us. We don't generally act soon enough to get ahead of it. Well, you know what? That's why I'm here to help you guys. And that's where today's video sponsor, Keeps, is here to solve your problem and help address hair loss. The best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have hair left. Get treated from home. With Keeps, a licensed doctor will review your information online and recommend the right hair loss treatment plan for you. Then, your treatment is shipped directly to your door every 3 months. Message your Keeps doctor 24/7 with any questions or concerns you may have along the way and track your progress with the Keeps Progress Tracking tool. Keeps offers generic versions of the FDA-approved medications for hair loss, which makes it more affordable. Find out why Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors and why hundreds of thousands of men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention. So if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, visit keeps.com/SSR or just click the link right below in the description for a special offer on Keeps treatments. That's KEEPS.com/SSR or click the link in the description. What's up, guys? Rob Ferretti here, and we're going to talk about the biggest assumptions that people make when writing a business plan or when getting into or thinking about getting into the exotic car rental business that are just, when you think about it, pretty dumb and like patently false. Now, the first one is going to be very simple, is that everybody's like, okay, I'm going to buy a car, get a car, borrow a car, whatever it is, and I'm going to rent it out and I'm going to get $1,000 a day, right? And I'm going to get $1,000 a day times 30 days. That's $30,000 a month. So if I get this car, rent it for $30,000, it's $365,000 a year for a car that costs me $200 grand. No brainer, right? I get to drive it for free, or it's fun. That's so stupid. So first off, 100% utilization is virtually impossible. The only business model that works with is the completely interchangeable car system of like Hertz and Avis, or like, you know, the major car rental companies, where a car can come in and it goes out because there's just a line of people waiting to take anything. That's why you get a class of car or similar. You go and they don't guarantee you anything. You're just going to get something with wheels that's either a mid-size, a compact. Oh, we don't have any compacts. Here's a full size. They don't care because as the car comes in, it gets washed and then gets shot right back out the door. That's the only way to get utilization up, and not even at 100%. It still gets utilization up to like 90% because there's downtime, there's cars are out, there's stuff that happens that, like, I mean, I've got broken cars, not that this is a rental car. Cars got to go in for service. Now, this isn't the best time because my warehouse is empty because all my cars are out except for this one, but you wouldn't need a warehouse if your cars were always out. You would need like a gas station to operate out of because the car comes in, goes back out. The fact that we have warehouses is because the cars aren't always out. They need a safe place to be garaged. You then need insurance for that garage. You need the cars to be insured. There's so many costs that people just forget and skip over that goes in. That's called overhead. And to run a business, you're going to have overhead. You don't want it. You try to minimize it, but there will be overhead. And overhead is a shared cost that goes across the entire spectrum of cars. Now, a lot of people don't factor in customer acquisition costs, right? No, but they're just, if you build it, they will come, right? I'm just going to start renting cars out, and people are going to flock to me because there's so much pent-up demand. They know I exist. As soon as I have a Ferrari, everybody's going to know I have a Ferrari, and when they want to drive it, they come to me. No. You're going to have to advertise. You're going to have to do AdWords. You're going to have to do Facebook ads. You're going to have to do some form of marketing that's not driving the car to the club and networking with people to let them know that that Ferrari is also a rental car as you're pretending it's yours. That doesn't work, right? Then you have the fact that you're never going to lose, right? Oh, yeah, as long as I make sure that the customer has insurance, I'm good. No, you're not. I'm spending thousands upon thousands of dollars a month, every month on average, with attorneys going after insurance companies and individuals. And then you're like, well, you're going to win. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I've had cases and I've done stories on where I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars litigating to get zero. So now I've got a rental that could have been $5,000, could have been $2,000, whatever it is. It then costs me $100,000. Now you have to be able to shoulder these. These are all stuff that you have to factor into your business plan when you're like, all right, I'm going to have the cost of attorneys. I'm going to have to, all these different expenses that nobody wants to factor in. They just take the imaginary, and there's these like car guru guys. Hey, I'm going to sell you this thing, teach you how no money down. You're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars like me. I'm 26 and driving around. There was an expose on Vice with this like guy down in Florida pretending to be like this guy. And then it turns out he was a nobody and he was borrowing people's cars. He's got a gypsy operation. He's walking around like he's the second coming of the car Jesus, if that's a thing. But now you have these guys trying to sell you an idea. Like you see people salivating at the idea of this, and they're selling you this panacea which doesn't exist. It's like all of their assumptions are patently wrong. And it suckers people into the business. They get into the business and they're like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought. And now you're going to be in the business. And a lot of people, the easiest way to get in is to go into Turo. And they got to factor in like, all right, now I'm going to have to give a piece of this. But they're generating the customers. That's a very difficult thing to do when you're doing car rentals, is generating your customers. Once you've got the customers, then you can worry about your cost structure. All of this stuff people don't seem to factor in. Now, you can lose on a customer too. You can have a bad customer. A customer can damage something. It's not worth going through insurance. There could be fraud. Luckily, you get your car back. There could be chargebacks. You have to fight the chargebacks. All of these things come in, and you can lose too, because you can have somebody that's not worth chasing. And what do I mean somebody who's not worth chasing? You take a security deposit. They exceed their security deposit. It's not worth making an insurance claim. Their insurance denies it. You try to go after them. Whatever the case, you could go get a judgment. You could bring them to court. They've got no money. They're going to run away forever, over a couple $1,000s. You lose it. You just got to accept the fact that that was going to be a loss, and you've got to eat those. All of these things where you had a customer who you thought you were making money on that ends up costing you money, costs you time, costs you money. All of these things nobody likes to factor in. Nobody likes the hard reality of what the business is. You can have a customer that gives you fake credit cards. You try to do a charge, or they do a chargeback because the actual customer's credit card number is like, I don't know what that is, it wasn't me. You're out the money. Like all of this stuff that you think is so foolproof, the insurance, the customer's insurance, I spoke to the insurance company, they're totally going to cover it. Then they deny it. I was in a claim. I'm just this one customer in like $60,000 deep right now in legal fees, chasing after not even the payment on the car, but the diminished value and the loss of use. Because say somebody damages your car and they're like, all right, here's your 50 grand to fix your car, but now my car's worth less. Not my problem. It is your problem. But these are hidden costs that you don't realize and you don't factor in that makes the business a whole lot less sexy than most people think it is. So next time you think about writing up a business plan, you have to think of the stuff that you don't want to think about, the stuff that's never going to happen, right? Oh, that's never going to happen. Did I think my warehouse and my non-flood zone was going to get flooded? No. I didn't have insurance for flood in my warehouse. I'm out $50,000 or $70,000 in contents, desks, computers, all this stuff, garbage, all like papers and documents that I've had for years of records, gone out the door. DVD, even my DVD inventory over there, I lost a bunch of DVDs. Are they worth something? Yeah, they're worth something when I sell them, but they're also worth something because it cost me money to buy them. That's all gone. Like having to replace the sheetrock on the walls, having to repaint, having to replace stuff over there that's not covered by insurance. All of that stuff is gone. The couches, stuff that I just have to throw away and get new ones. I got new desks right over here. All of this stuff you have to factor in because it's not all gravy. And you have to have the right insurance. That's a big thing I always harp on. You have to have the right insurance. People don't want to do that because it's too expensive. But that's what it's like to be in this business. And it's not all it's cracked up to be. So if you want to make money, and I try to tell people, it could be a decent business, but it's not as home run as people would like to think, right? And there's a lot more pitfalls, and the amount of money that you need to then make money in this business, you could probably make a hell of a lot more doing anything else. So think about that when you're writing your business plan. Send it over to me. I'll give it a quick once over and be like, nope, 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 and help you out there. But other than that, stuff to think about. It's not all gravy. Never listen. Anyone who's selling you a solution to this business is full of crap. Don't believe them. Rob Ferretti, that is the best advice I could possibly give to anyone thinking about getting into the business of renting exotic cars.